I don't know who said it, but laws are like cobwebs. They catch the weak, but the strong can break through and get away. In June 2009, I had a new life ahead of me. I had recently gotten married, and I was about to go work for the Secretary of State on foreign policy and national security. I had no inkling that the dark clouds would suddenly be appearing. I remember meeting him right outside the State Department. You know, just like when you first meet, we talked about many things. Pakistan, the Iranian Revolution, the nuclear fuel cycle. He didn't know about South Korea, let alone North Korea. So I had to explain like the basics.
As a reporter, I will always honor the confidentiality of my dealings with all of my sources.
Yeah, sure. And if you don't do that, you're no longer a reporter, and you're one of the best.
Well, starting off this hour, another name has been added to the list of people charged under the Espionage Act.
Stephen Kim was one of the U.S. government's top experts on North Korea. He's now facing trial and 15 years in prison for allegedly leaking classified information to a Fox News reporter, a charge Kim adamantly denies.
Fox News reporter James Rosen reporting back in 2009 that North Korea would respond to sanctions with more nuclear tests.
That's it? That's the leak they needed to quash? North Korea answers everything with more nuclear. What? They have a nuclear test-based economy.
I did not consider the conversation to be so memorable or so blazoned in my mind that it was because of that conversation that these things are happening.
We're now learning the Obama Justice Department invoked the Espionage Act, one of the most serious wartime laws in America, to justify its investigation.
The Espionage Act is this 100-year-old statute. It was passed as a result of World War I to address spying. But it is the principal tool the government uses to go after both real spying and for somebody like Stephen Kim, who's accused of having a conversation with a member of the media.
This administration in the last 4 years has prosecuted twice as many leakers as every previous administration combined. How does that reflect balance?
The president firmly believes in the need to defend the First Amendment and the need for reporters to be able to do their jobs.
Court records obtained by NBC News show that in their efforts to convict Stephen Kim, prosecutors obtained phone and cell phone records of Fox News journalists.
The FBI naming Fox News chief Washington correspondent James Rosen a criminal co-conspirator in the leak.
One of the disconnects about this case is that here he is, somebody who's been accused of a national security offense. And I can assure you that Stephen always thought in all of his work that his job was to help make the United States stronger. When a reporter is dealing with somebody who could be exposed for what the reporter is doing, it comes with a degree of responsibility. But this was information out there in the world in non-classified sources that you could Google and learn without it being classified.
Probably the toughest decision that I've had to make in my life was to plead guilty. Went against every fiber of my being to give up the fight.
As the family spokesperson, I would like to make a short statement. The government's prosecution, which started in 2010, has taken a horrific toll on my brother and our entire family. His life has been in limbo for the past 4 years. There will be difficult months and years ahead, but we look forward to Stephen returning to our embrace soon.
U.S. Post Office, change of address, turn off power, call Verizon to cancel cable. Banks should have the forwarding address, list of names, addresses, and numbers of people who may visit. You know, my little crib notes on when my sister arrives and when my friends might arrive. You know, it's basically a couple of weeks of saying goodbye.
What's so very frustrating about this is the administration can and does hide behind classification.
The president himself has said it repeatedly in the past that too much information is classified. It's not just information that might be harmful to national security or human life. It's just millions and millions of documents and information that are classified that shouldn't be. Obviously, that preceded this administration, but it's not improved during this administration. The president promised to have the most transparent government in American history. He promised to reduce overclassification.
대단해요. 4년 동안 항상 우리 만날 때마다 웃고
머리가 단단하다고?
스톤헤드
푹 찍혔잖아.
예.
그냥 너무 저는 금방 개인적으로 금방 나. 왜냐면 그게 뭐 진짜 탑 시크릿도 아니고 한국 사람 쪽에서 봐서는 제너럴 포메이션인데 미국 애들이 보면 좀 이상한데 아까 얘기한 한 번도 안 물어봤어. Why me라고 물어본 적 없어?
I used to have a pretty wide network of colleagues and friends. Trust me, when stuff like this happens, they all go away. So the old adage, you find out, who your true friends are when you're at your lowest. It's really true. The culture in Washington is pretty cutthroat. It's pretty ruthless. And maybe it's because of my academic background. I thought that my intelligence assessments would pierce through the politics. I guess I'm naive. I was about to go to the policy planning staff working under Hillary Clinton. Basically, the style and thrust of my analysis has always been the way we analyze a country like North Korea that everybody says is unknowable needs a reassessment. And to me, that all came down to how the United States understands how another nation thinks. And we can't view that through our lens. There's a term for it, it's called mirror imaging. Well, I would do it this way, so therefore they must do it that way. I think that's not very helpful. And if abused, that can be actually quite dangerous.
Literally every day in Washington, D.C., there's somebody in the government who's talking to somebody in the media about something that is secret, that may even be classified. The line isn't black and white when your motives are to be constructive as opposed to destructive. There's a lot about the line that needs to be discussed. But Stephen admits readily that once he understood the nature of the case and the charges, that he crossed that line. He purposely disclosed what was in a classified report to somebody that didn't have authority to receive it. This reporter used methods of charm, flattery, almost in a manipulative way to acquire information. But Stephen Kim has insisted from the beginning, and the government has not charged him, and he has not agreed, that he provided any source or method of intelligence to the media.
My ex-wife left in summer of 2010, before the indictment, but after the government approached me. I think she could not take it. When this whole thing started, I saw no point in going on. I think every single day I thought about killing myself. There were many thoughts. Maybe I'll take an overdose of pills, or like jump off a building, or throw yourself in front of a moving train. But it's one thing to contemplate it, it's another thing to actually carrying it out. And luckily, I didn't get to those stages. when I try to put it all together, I realize I should have known better.
오늘 대충 뭐 어떻게 이제 이렇게 돼 있나 얘기를 일단 제너럴하게 설명을 해줄게. 여기는 이제 아까 저 위그, 응? 위그. 그다음에 여기는 이제 제너럴한 아이템, 립스틱이고 콤이고 뭐 이런 이제. 됐지 이제. 이거 프로다건 이런 거 위그 이런 거 네일 프로덕이 앨리스트 1년 정도는 있어야 되는데 당장 와서 지금 해야 되는 거는 우리가 항상 손님하고의 불편한 관계를 자기는 영어도 잘하고 또 이렇게 뭐라고 하나 대화를 일단 잘하잖아. 대화가 안 돼서 조그만 문제가 커진다고. 이 소통이 안 되니까. 자기가 해야 될 의무가 굉장히 중요해.
Any update on where the
No. I'm going to talk to them on Monday after 1 on a whole sort of issues.
Oh my God, I remember this day. That was the farewell party that we had with our classmates before we left.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, September of 1976. That was our living room in Korea. Stephen is right here. It was so horrible the first couple of years when we got here. The teasing and missing home. It was lonely. We didn't have any other friends. They were bullying us. We both didn't speak English. We were each other's comfort. My brother was beaten up a lot because he was such a thin, frail-looking kid. But I remember he must have made this decision. I'm gonna study hard and go full power like a rocket. He was always reading. All the classics, philosophy and theology. He once told me, if you want to understand today's events, you cannot do that unless you know history. And from that, he bridged it to diplomatic and military history. When this horrific thing happened, I put up my entire savings. Then we liquidated everything, like my parents' house. But I realized just how powerless we were and how powerful the government is.
The whole concept of when the government goes after people for what they call leaks could not be more timely with some of the big cases that are out there, ranging from Chelsea Manning to Ed Snowden. It implicates all kinds of public policy issues, ranging from the selectivity of prosecutions to freedom of the speech, freedom of press. If you look at all the cases that have been brought, there are some disturbing trends. It's almost always a lower down that gets prosecuted, and other peoples are promoted to higher positions in the government for having talked to the media. But in Stephen's case, the tragedies are so many that they're hard to even list. This has cost Stephen and his family so much. But I have to say that our country has lost the benefit of somebody that was very, very insightful. And that's a tragedy.
I mean, this is happening. Are we living in America? How could the United States government, greatest country in the whole wide world, world's most powerful democracy, put an honest person in prison? I'm very angry about that.
When the movers come, the house doesn't have real valuables or important papers because you would have already.
We should get going. Okay. 운전해서 너무 고마워. 어? I've dedicated my entire life to this country. I see things very differently now.
Stephen Kim? Yes, Kim. I am aware that I am out, but sometimes, you know, I pinch myself. Over there. You see? In prison, it was very demoralizing. As they undressed me, put me in an orange jumpsuit, I can hear the sound of my heart beating. I am astounded. I cannot believe this is happening to me. There's nothing you can do. Do what you're told. The very fact that you're going to prison is a shock to the system. I am so tired. I did not know whether I was mentally prepared to adjust to what prison life was like. 99% of the individuals there are alpha males. They're used to getting their way. Of course there are going to be clashes. Anything as trivial as who's watching which TV program, it could quickly escalate into fights. Some of the letters I would read again, put it away and read it again. It's your only contact with the outside world. Just, dear Pops, hello, hope you're okay. And taking it strong, I guess. Your son misses you and knows you that you will endure it well. I love you so much. I will make sure that I will have a great freshman year. Sorry for the bad handwriting. One of my mother's friends from Korea sent a dried white flower in a Christmas card, and I guess during the transit, it disintegrated somehow and turned into a white powder. When they opened it, I guess the powder went poof, and they thought it was anthrax. They ran on the theory that because of my extensive military and intel background, North Korea was trying to assassinate me. And so for my safety, they put me in what we call the SHU, and it's solitary confinement. I tried to explain that I don't think that's the case, but I was handcuffed, stripped, put in orange clothing, and thrown in a very small room. That was when I went into shock. I just could not believe what had happened. I felt stress and panic. So I closed my eyes and I said, no, this is the largest room. This is the largest room. You have an ocean view. It's very wide and open. You don't have to feel that way. I have no one to trust. This is 24-hour isolation. Prison at its most basic and primitive. What propels me to go on and endure all this? To go back to Korea. I don't like small spaces, because I am claustrophobic. The sound of keys jiggling, yelling during sleeping hours, driving me nuts. Nothing I can do.
Former CIA Director David Petraeus is agreeing to plead guilty to mishandling classified materials.
Petraeus admitted to giving Broadwell 8 black books, which included the identities of covert officers, war strategy, intelligence capabilities.
Other government officials who have leaked similar information have gone to prison.
Exactly. Like last year, Stephen Kim, who got 13 months in prison.
All animals are equal, but some are more equal than others.
That's right.
Despite an FBI and congressional investigations into her use of a private email server to conduct confidential government business, Clinton enjoys a commanding lead over her Democratic challengers. One, former Maryland Governor Martin O'Malley, has failed to secure his name on the Ohio primary ballot. Clinton remains a fundraising force.
There are times when I drive around, I don't know how to describe it, but when I look around, I feel like here there's really nothing for me. Yeah. I came to this work for the purpose of public service. I didn't do it for money, obviously. I did it for the advancement of the national security of the United States. January 5th, 2015. Dear Stephen, I received your sister's email recounting your horrible ordeal in solitary confinement. I am so sorry to hear that you had to go through such a terrible experience. Your strength amazes me. Dear Stephen, I was so pleased to hear from Yuri that you received my last card. I'm sure it'll be a wonderful feeling to reach the day when you have less than half left rather than more. Dear Stephen, I was happy to hear that you maintain your sense of humor despite your confinement and that physically you are stronger than ever. With six-pack abs and all. I don't know where you got that. Your friendship had a profound effect on me. Your words and actions imparted in me a commitment to truth and justice. You were the first philosophical soul I had met in dealing with such an unjust fate. Since I was released from prison, I'm homeless, penniless, familyless. I am trying my best to not have flashbacks, not have panic attacks, not rethink the past 5 years or all that I've lost I try not to think of those things, but it's not always easy. Most of the time, I try my best to think about what I'm going to be doing from now on. I'm conflicted, so I'm still debating within myself of what to do. Can I find something new? Can I find something different to focus my energy? I don't know, but I cannot go back to what I was.
That person's gone.